Hey guys, welcome back. Today we got something a little different for you guys. I usually get to review M4s, but today I'm checking out a version of the AK-74. This is the new Genesis OCW from Echo One. It's basically a sport line version of the OCW. It does have a plastic rail system, plastic body, everything that brings the cost and the weight down. It's the only guy weighs about 5.5 pounds. Very, very light gun, so it's nice. I carried this around for about 5 hours on the field today, and no problem at all carrying this thing. I'll carry other heavier guns that are full metal bodies. I'll get really tired, I'll have to wear a sling with them. This guy, no problem at all carrying this around for 6 hours. Very easy to do. Now, before we actually dive into the review, I'm just going to give you guys my impressions on the gun, then we'll talk about what it comes with, then we'll check out the gun itself. Now, after putting quite a few rounds through this today and getting, honestly, a lot of kills, I'm pretty impressed with it. I didn't think it'd be the greatest gun in the world when I took it out of the box, but I put a battery in it, I loaded up the mag, and it shot pretty nice. I was very pleased with it. The gun runs $165, and it'll come with literally everything you need to get playing right out of the box. Battery, charger, I'll go over everything it comes with in a minute, but you really technically don't need anything else besides what it comes with to actually play, besides BBs, eyewear, the usual stuff. Now, the internals of this guy, I've read over all the specs and everything online. I've watched Brian from Echo One's internal take on this, so I know exactly what's in here. And I will go over that in a later video. I'll show you guys exactly what's in the gun. It is very different from other brands and models that look identical, but we'll get into that later. It's got some pretty beefy internals. So this guy right out of the box, I chronoed it at 397, I think, pretty consistently. It was right around the 400 mark. They advertised 405 online, but obviously it's not going to shoot dead on to the specs they put online just because everything is a little bit different. You never know. Now, it actually does advertise on the gun that the gun is LiPo ready, or it says LiPoly ready, really the same thing. You look online, it's recommended that you run an Echo One 11.1 volt 1100 mAh battery. That's the Echo One LiPo 1, I believe. And really, I don't feel you're going to have any problems. I would always recommend getting your gun tuned right out of the box. That just is how most guns come. Just even a shim job will do you some good. It'll probably sound a little better too. When you get this gun out of the box, I found it was a little bit whiny. I tried playing with the motor height a little bit, but I couldn't get it to really do anything different as far as the noise goes. So I would really recommend a good shim job on this guy. Stock, it's going to run you just fine. I was running a 7.4 volt without any problems. Every once in a while I would have a hiccup with the full auto. It would shoot 2 rounds at once. It would miss feed or double feed, but it was very rare. It was every 400 or 500 rounds or so. Aside from that, the only other issue I had with the gun performance-wise was the accuracy was not the greatest. I was shooting guys 120, 140 feet away today at the NBR field, and it was getting yard, 4-foot groupings out there. It was a little much for me. I was running .25s out of this guy, which is what I like to run on automatics that I run, and it just wasn't quite doing it. So you might need to, it might just be this gun too. You never know, sometimes you just get a slight lemon of a bucking or something. So when I do open this up and show you guys the internals in the next video, I'll obviously take the hop-up apart, look at everything, make sure it's all good, and we'll get it back together and make sure the accuracy is good. Alright, now I've just got the basics out of the way, my opinions on their performance and such. So let's go ahead and check out everything the gun comes with real quick. Please note that when you get the gun, it will come partially disassembled. The dust cover upper here and the charging handle, spring, and rod will be separate. You do have to install those yourself. It's really not difficult at all. Now it will come with a little orange cap on there, just a safety plug just in case. A standard wall charger with a mini Tamiya adapter. I'd charge a battery for about 4 or 5 hours. It should do it just fine. They usually say 8 hours on the packaging or instructions, but I found that 5 hours will do just fine on these. Also included is an 8.4 volt stick type battery. It's an 1100 milliamp hour, and it's a nickel metal hydride, which is nice because there's no charging memory on that. And it does have a mini type Tamiya connector on here. Now with this battery, you're probably going to get about 12, maybe 13 rounds a second at the most. Of course, you're going to get a regular old cleaning rod. It's about 1.5 feet long or so. I did notice that the barrel had quite a bit of gunk in there, so I would take a little paper towel, maybe some silicone oil, and just clean it out. Now, I actually found a little tag on the gun, which is kind of cool. Echo One is actually putting their tags on the guns now, which is very interesting. You do get your Echo 1 swag. Of course, you get one of these awesome plastic patches. It's Velcro backed. And a dead rag, which is really nice. These are very useful on the field, trust me. Your Echo 1 warranty card, 30 days, so fill it out, send it in, and get it registered. Also comes with a high cap mag, feeding door on the top, winding wheel on the bottom, wind it toward the back, and it came with a tan bottom, which was kind of puzzling to me. With a black gun and a tan bottom mag was a little odd. Now lastly, you do get a high cap winding key, so the high cap has a little hole in the side where you can wind it, and you get a sight adjustment tool. That's for your front sight. Now we'll go ahead and start with the stock of the gun and move our way forward. Now the included stock on the gun is actually really nice. It is a crane style stock, and you can store a battery in here, but the gun is not wired to the stock. Now normally when I'm checking out the stock or the back of the gun, I'll mention, hey, there's a sling point here or something, you can put a sling here. This gun actually does not have any sling points on the body itself. Now, the gun is not fully plastic. It does have some metal parts, including the buffer tube, which is very nice. Now, it's really interesting. Echo 1 is starting to put little information stickers on their guns. This guy has the LiPo ready information on here. Online, it will tell you it can take an 11.1 volt battery. I would do that if you tune it, but that's just my personal opinion. These things, it seems to work very, very well. The pre-upgraded gearbox, it's got some pretty beefy stuff in there, 8mm bearings, bearing piston head, metal spring guide, an M120-ish spring, but we'll go over all that in detail in the internals video, which I will do after this. And you've got the 30-day warranty information on there. That's that warranty card I talked about. So all the information is online, which it shows right here. For more information, go to echo1usa.com. Also, Echo 1 is starting to put lots of stickers on their guns, which is interesting. I felt like when I saw this, I just bought a ballpark cap or something at I'm right next to Safeco Field here in Seattle, so I felt like I'd just gotten some merchandise there or something when I saw this. And the right side, we have a warning sticker. Warning. Moving up the gun a little bit, the pistol grip, oh, I really feel it's very comfortable. I think you need to have some fairly big hands to use it. It is very similar to an M249 style grip. The selector lever works just like all other AKs. The top position is safe. One down is full auto, and the bottom position is semi-automatic. Now if you pull the charging lever back here, it does have a charging handle on both sides, which is a very nice touch for this gun. You can pull it back and you have access to your hop-up adjustment arm. Push it forward to decrease and pull it back to increase. Now I'm going to be very honest with you guys. You're looking at a gun with a full plastic body and rail system. This is not a bad thing by any means. After using this gun all day, I found that it really doesn't have any creaks or wobbles or anything. It flexes little to none at all. It's one of the more sturdy bodies I've seen that's made of mostly plastic. Accessing the battery compartment is very simple. Simply push the button on the back of the dust cover here. Your plate will lift off, and you can fit a stick-type battery in there, and you'll have a mini-type Tamiya connector. The rear side in this gun can be adjusted for elevation only by pressing the button on the side. Now, let's look at the full plastic rail system. I know it's full plastic, but trust me, this thing is actually very sturdy. It really doesn't even look like plastic, it looks like metal. You can put all your accessories on here, vertical grips, light lasers, pec box, whatever you want to do. Takes everything. Your front sight can easily be adjusted for elevation with the included tool. And you do get a big plastic orange flash hider on here.
Pick your poison, gentlemen. Straight her down.
I don't think we had team one.
Hit! Very nice. Got him.
There should be 2 of them. Two on the trail. How far up are they?
100, 120 feet out.
Through a lot of brush.
Quite a bit, yeah. It's luck if we hit him.
So, what do you guys think of the Genesis OCW by Echo One? I think for the price, it's not a bad gun at all. $165 gets you a gun you can play with right out of the box. Shoots right around that 400 mark, just a hair over most of the time, so some of those 400 FPS feels you might have to tune it down just a little bit, but the spring does break in. It'll probably go down to 390-ish within, a few thousand rounds, I'd imagine. We'll definitely have to see, though. But I think it's a pretty good deal. I like the gun personally. It's very comfortable. I'm going to have to work on the groupings a little bit. The rate of fire is not bad at all on a LiPo, so it's pretty good. Also want to point out that there are a lot of similar looking guns out there. None of them have the internals like this one does, but we will check that out firsthand in the next video, where I'm going to go inside the gun and check out the internals. And trust me, they are unlike most other guns like this for the price. That's pretty cool. Thanks for watching, guys. Prodigy from Kilo 23. This is the Echo One Genesis OCW. Take it easy.